Okay, so 4th of July has just passed, and the heat kicked in there for a few days. We're getting beautiful weather now, but we keep getting rainstorms, but most people aren't realizing how dry the ground still is. And I figured right now we just had a monsoon come through, and I'd say in the last few days we've gotten about an inch of water, but it's not doing a whole lot of good, and we should really talk about it and why now's actually a good time to get out and start watering your flower beds and your lawn, if you're going to. Let's talk about it. Okay, so 2 days ago we had, well, actually maybe a few more days than that now, but we had a really torrential rains come through, big storms, places lost power, we got lots of rain. I don't know how much we got, but it was a lot. This afternoon on the way home from work, we had another deluge going on in here. And I don't know if you can see in the bottom of this stock tank, but we've got about an inch of water inside the bottom of that stock tank, and that was empty just the other day. So between the two storms, even in a sheltered location, I know we got at least an inch of rain. But not much of that is entering into the ground. When we get rain, an inch of rain that's over the course of 24 hours, even 12 hours, but 12, 24, 36 hours, that penetrates the ground. The ground gets wet, it soaks it up and starts to absorb it. But as if you went and bought a brand new sponge at the grocery store and you go to put water on it, it actually repels water until it finally sucks up the moisture slowly. Then when you ream it out, it will suck up lots of fluid and lots of water, but the ground is doing the same thing. So most of us, when the heat kicked in a couple weeks ago, we got a few 90-degree days surrounded by a 100-degree day, and then that was it. I noticed at that point we had been getting rain, and I finally paid attention to the fact that we had been getting storm after storm, but we weren't getting volume, or if we got volume, it was a very short period of time. And now that we just had this big deluge come through, I want to show you this so you can see firsthand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is just a 4x4 bed, raised bed, heavy organic matter in here. This was filled with the Coast of Maine raised bed mix. So very nutrient dense mix that we've just mulched over the top. So when I go to plant some of my vegetables in here, I do like to put mulch in here because I notice these raised bed mixes dry out really fast. But as we're mentioning, we got a heavy soaking rain the other day. We just had a crazy storm pull through here. And if I come in here and I pull this back, we are powder. We are powder a quarter of an inch down underneath that mulch. And that's in a raised bed that has mulch in there that's going to help absorb some of that moisture. So if we're this dry in here, imagine how dry your grass is or your flower beds. Okay, so even though most areas are still looking decent, I notice a lot of these perennials are starting to show signs of drought stress. Hostas that are in full sun are starting to burn out a little bit. So now is actually the best time to go out and water. Now, historically, I don't water in the evening hours, especially with already seeing fungus popping up all over the landscapes. But we just had rain. Everything is soaking wet now anyway, but the ground is going to be the most receptive to a good soak if you can now set up your sprinklers because you've got some rain. Although 90% of that rain that just came down in the thunderstorm did not get absorbed, the top quarter inch to half inch did, and it's now had time to kind of stop breaking through that little chemical barrier that resists water. Now, if I set my sprinklers up, it's going to suck up more of that water because it's had time to pull up a little bit of that moisture from the thunderstorm. So get out there and start running the sprinklers now. For those who are not going to irrigate all summer long, especially for long, this patch on the side of the house is kind of the only area I irrigate. As you get into the backyards with the chicken coop and the greenhouse production, we don't touch anything in the back. So I'm going to let all those areas just go dormant. So if you're not committed to irrigating all summer long in controlled fashion, let the stuff go dormant. Let Mother Nature run its course. That heat that kicked in a couple weeks ago really kind of sucker punched the landscape. Just like we didn't have time to adapt, we went from 70s to all of a sudden 100. The landscape didn't either. Plants start hardening off. They start slowly getting used to the drier conditions, the heat conditions, just like we do. They kind of got sucker punched, and I feel like the only thing that loved it were the insects and the diseases. So now that the weather is warming and kind of moderating again, If you're going to irrigate. Do it now. Do it for a long period of time. Get it to soak in. Only do it a few times a week. You don't need to water your lawn or your flowers every day. If they do, you're growing the wrong plants. Just my 2 cents. And outside of that, putting some water down after these rainstorms will definitely help keep your landscape looking better all summer long. Summer's just kicking into gear, so still plenty of time to plant. Enjoy your landscape. I hope that helps. Take care.